Sakui Garvade, and welcome to Cassus Café. I am here with Tykoth and Kli'nah.
Hello!
And once again, we are back with Journey to the Dark Head, Episode 5 of Vision Season 2. This, so far, is really close to beating out Screecher's Reach for me. It's really good.
Yeah.
I completely predicted that. I was like, as I was sitting there, I was like, oh, Ankin's gonna this will be his top, if not, it might even beat out some of the other ones for you, for sure.
Yeah, it was really good. It wasn't necessarily the story that got me, because I really wasn't all that connected to the story. I didn't really understand what exactly was going on, really. But the animation style was top-notch. The action was top-notch. The characters, like the dynamic between the main Jedi character and the chick, I thought was really well done. Like, they didn't they didn't have to overpower each other. Like, one wasn't more important than the other one, like in the story. The girl character didn't really belittle or have to save the guy character, and it was all really kind of balanced, and I really liked that aspect of it as well. But yeah, overall, it was probably my favorite one, if not my second favorite. It's right up there with Screecher's Reach. I think Screecher's Reach thematically and story-wise is a little bit better, honestly, because I understood story and it had a bit more of a cooler twist and impact on me than this one did, like, story-wise. But I think the art style, animation was really, really good. So it's difficult.
Yeah, and I'm not as I've stated before here, I'm not super into anime. I have to get over that aspect, but I really do think that the lighting in this, specifically the animation, is some of the strongest I've seen from Visions. They just have this really harsh backlight on everybody, and it's really cool. And they find a way to do it in most of the scenes. There's a few that don't, but there's just some really amazing color and lighting throughout. That's kind of that shows you how I view style in this, because I was paying attention to other things that I normally probably wouldn't.
Yeah, and just I can't really talk up this kind of animation style more than I already do. Apparently, this is the same studio that did Legend of Korra, which is ironic because I hated Legends of Korra.
I mean, did you hate the animation though?
No, not really. It wasn't that. It was just the setting and the story of Korra that I was like, this is a step down for Avatar. But that's a tangent. That's besides the point. But yeah, this is the same studio that did that, and I don't remember. There's a couple other ones.
A bunch of DC and Marvel stuff.
Yeah,
it is. I mean, it really is beautiful. There's a shot at 1529. When they're falling out of the sky, and you see that giant statue coming with the rings around the head.
Oh yeah.
Just really, really painting-esque landscapes that the others haven't had quite yet, and I appreciate it a ton.
I really like this scene because it was an allusion to Sword Art Online. There's a almost exact same scene in Sword Art Online where they're falling through the sky like that with this really epic back, sunset-y vibe to it.
The ending was my favorite like that. Yeah, just that whole last action scene. Yeah, I like it all. I like what's the Jedi race at the beginning, because they don't get a ton of screen time.
Are they Jedi?
Or the councils. Yeah.
Or are you talking about the Jedi Council or the
council at the beginning?
Okay, so there's
the I'm trying to remember the race, the lady's race name, but there's not a lot of
the Adigalia looking girl.
Yeah.
I don't remember the race name.
I'm sure I used to know that. But...
Yeah, I recognize her as the same race as Adigalia.
Yeah, so they don't get a lot of screen time. I thought that was neat to not just do kind of typical ones.
Yeah.
I don't know what the other Jedi is, the kind of creature-y one.
Yeah, I don't know either.
But I don't know if that's an existing one or not, but still kind of neat.
Yeah, if it is, they animated it so weird I didn't recognize it.
Yeah.
I thought they did a good job of helping me realize that the girl at the beginning is the girl in the rest of the episode, because sometimes with time shifts, you don't realize that it is. And I thought they did a good job. It was just seamless to me, and I didn't even question it.
Yeah. It's interesting because the studio did Korra, but I don't think they did The Last Airbender.
No, they did not.
So, which is interesting. Just in another kind of tangent, but in comparison to that point you just made, I thought Avatar: Last Airbender had the most sublime character design development over the course of the seasons, where they were, portrayed really young, but as the seasons progressed, they got, older, obviously, and by the end of the season, you can look back and just tell how different the characters look, but you don't notice it as you're watching it. And that's kind of similar to what you just said, how you could tell that's the same girl, but it's obviously kind of a time thing. She's a little older.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's gotta be tricky.
But you could already you could still tell it's her character. So I thought that was good usage of character design.
You always talk a lot about clouds in Star Wars. There's some cool clouds in this one. Did you dig that?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, anime is kind of hit or miss with clouds, but this one, they do a good job.
It's an interesting balance of kind of this photorealism, but a little bit painting-esque too. It's really right in the middle of that. Very interesting.
Yeah. Oh man.
I just really love this whole fight scene at the end where they switch between the actual fighting and this chick trying to destroy these towers. They did it so well.
Yeah, it's cool.
Splitting between the two and making it interesting and entertaining.
Sometimes it's cuts and sometimes it's kind of camera movements or simulated camera movements, but it doesn't feel too jarring. It's really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was expecting this bad guy character to be some sort of alien with that weird tail thing, but he looks just like a normal dude. So I don't know if the tail is part of him or if it's just another weapon he uses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is interesting.
I think I assumed that it was a weapon, like a metal tail thing that he had attached to him that can retract.
Yeah, I don't know. There's some interesting character designs in these episodes for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then we get back to the duality of the light and the dark and the good and the evil, and how you have to have
one with the other.
Yeah. And it reminds me of the end of Star Wars, the movies, where it's bringing balance to the Force.
It definitely leans into that yin yang sort of Eastern Asian culture of the Force.
This is South Korea.
Yeah.
So they're going to be into kind of the Buddhist Hindu sort of inspiration behind the Force. Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas when you hear George talk about it, it's his philosophy is the Force is in balance when there is no dark. But that is not what a lot of people's opinions or philosophies of it are, because I mean that's kind of the whole point to the Force. It's very ambiguous.
It's this kind of unknowable force that everybody tries to attribute these rules to, but it's kind of bigger than rules themselves.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But in the case of George, who created it and everything, his whole philosophy, he said in interviews, is that when the Force is in balance, there is no dark, because the imbalance is the dark.
And here they're not doing that. It's more the yin yang.
Well, that's almost a little Buddhist too. Just the idea of no darkness is super Buddhisty Hindu.
Well, isn't that one of the main religions that George Lucas was inspired by? Does that make sense?
Totally. Yeah, it's very the Force is totally a Buddhist thing for sure.
That was an interesting take. I liked that version of the Force that they used.
Yeah. It is. Well, yeah, it is kind of interesting because now the more that I think about it, the duality, the good and the evil, is more of a Western type of thing than it is almost Eastern. And so it is interesting that a South Korean sort of company would embrace it so heavily. But anime does do a lot of good and evil stuff too. So, yeah.
All right, well, let's go ahead and rate this one. I'm going to go ahead and give it a 9.5. probably. I don't like giving 0.5s, so I usually stick with whole numbers.
Might as well just do ratings out of 100 at that point.
I'll just do a 9 because it's really on par with Screecher's Reach for me, and it's really difficult for me to say it's better. So I'll just keep it at 9, same as Screecher's Reach.
I give this a 9 as well.
Nice.
Yeah. Solid episode.
I would 1000% agree. For those people that are super into it, totally get it. It deserves it. I'm gonna give it a 7 just because I'm not into it. But
fair.
I completely get why people would be.
Interesting. I'm very curious what your favorite one is. I can't wait to like get through the series and then we have to guess which other's like favorite and least favorite is.
Yeah.
That's gonna be great.
Yeah, totally. Me too.
All right. Well, thank you guys for watching. This has been our discussion of Journey to the Dark Head. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Please like and subscribe and let us know what you think about Division Season 2 in the comments. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Bye.